The world seems to be in chaos, and many are struggling to grasp the happenings in the realms of Marvel and DC. In times of need, even Batman turns to two individuals. Those two are the Nerdery.
Welcome to another episode of Rican. My name would be Lou, but I'm in the Mo side.
And I would be Mo, but I'm on the loose side.
And I'm still the spawn of Satan.
There you go.
Either side.
Yeah. So from now on, I'm
What's
Mo.
going on, my brother?
What's going on, Mo?
Okay, you opening up, so what you got on your mind?
I'm just here for the ride. Nah. Let's talk about, I want to open up with The Last of Us, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind at all. I've already wiped my tears a whole hour ago.
You caught up?
Oh, yeah, I'm caught up, baby.
All right. Joe is back. No spoiler alerts. Joe came back for this one episode. It was like what should we call it? It was like a throwback type of day for remember. And
yeah.
I needed that episode.
I think we all needed that episode.
Yes. And you know what? Remember season 1 when that episode with the two guys?
Yes.
How it was well written?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this one is equal.
Yeah, it's in par, definitely.
Yeah.
It hits you right in the chest, bro. It just hits you where you live, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, unless they got something better right now, because they still got 3 more episodes?
And there's still a lot that's gonna happen that I already have an idea where it's gonna end and where they're gonna put the pause on and what season 3 will entail. Oh my god, I'm not ready.
So I would suggest you find yourself a good therapist. We're looking to be going to the couch for this one, bro.
No,
it's one of those shows that'll do it.
Sam, what I need you to do is text me your number so when this happens, I can call you crying.
Please. Yes.
Yes. So
you two can go and sit into your ugly cry mess in the corner.
Oh my god, I was literally ugly crying through the episode, even though I knew what was.
After this episode, please text me your number.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, this is one of those shows. I mean, I thought when I was watching The Walking Dead a couple of times and I caught something, but it was more of those, oh no, oh my, or oh shite type moments, but not like this with this show. This show is like you just sit there and all of a sudden you feel your chin starting to quiver.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like that one starts rolling off the side of your eye. You're like, no, it's just the weather. No,
you crying?
Allergy.
Yeah.
No, I ain't crying.
I'm curious. What do you guys think? Because I already have an idea of what's gonna happen. What do you guys think is gonna be happening story-wise? Because we already got the reveal that Jesse and Tommy are there and all this stuff and whatnot. So what do you guys think is going to be going down?
I don't know. I don't want to make presumptions. I don't want to assume anything because I don't play the game. So to me, all this is new.
Yeah.
It's like The Walking Dead. I didn't read the comic. No. I didn't read the comic. I couldn't get into the comic. But The Walking Dead, I mean, one of my saddest episodes was when the old Herschel died. The old man Herschel.
Yes. Oh my
god. That hurt.
Mm-hmm. When Sonequa Martin Jr.
And one of my favorites.
Sonequa's character.
Yes.
When she turned, I was like, no. But it bears in comparison to that moment when I saw Joel get that, and I'm like, oh, no, I wanted to jump out. If I could jump into that screen, grab that biatch and start just choking the life out of her, bro. I wanted to choke her.
Yeah.
But that's what for me, I would say that's what I'm waiting for. I'm so waiting for that moment. Like the way she had the other one, and she was like, I mean, you're dying. You've already inhaled. She's immune. No, really? She's breaking your legs. You still want to say no?
Now,
see again. No. And
now,
they didn't reveal if she even told her anything. So I'm like, is that the next moment? Does she know? Have they formulated a plan? Are they gonna go there? Is this bitch going to finally get? Yo, I wanted to see when she
the only
gives a two in the back of the head, bro.
the only problem I have with the Last of Us is that I think they're moving too quickly with the clickers. They're getting too smart too fast. That should have been elaborated
Well,
throughout the.
hold on.
I don't know if the video game does that.
Well, this story takes place like what 5-10 years after the fact.
It takes place initially, I believe,
4 years.
4 years after the ending
After the
of the first
first.
season.
We just still don't know if this is the normal evolution or that's supposed to take that far because, again, the story is based on a fungus. It's not based on a virus. So it's like these are two different animals in itself, creating this serious apocalyptic situation.
Also, there's different kinds of infections that you see, like versus like the normal clickers, the other people who are infected. Remember in the scene where she's in the hospital, you saw all of them on the walls. Like that's a different level of infection.
Mm-hmm.
There is also still more to come. Remember that beast mode dude that came through in the town in Jackson? So like there's
Sam.
More.
Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you right. Sam.
There's more, bro. I told you. You're going to have to find a therapist, bro.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of ugly crying. There's going to be a lot of
if
moments.
If they are going to do what I think they're going to do in the next episode, there will be a lot of angry people.
Ooh.
Like extremely angry people for the next episode.
And you know this is a cliffhanger, so they gotta leave you with something that you get. That
and I know exactly where they should end it, and I know it's gonna make so many people fucking angry. Sorry.
What she said. One of them.
Eyebrows are up. Eyebrows are up. Red alert, Captain. Red alert.
I'm gonna be like with shields up, phasers. Yo, I'm coming in ready to launch an attack.
I literally dropped the game for like 3 days after that part in the game because of how angry I was. So I had to take like a minute to woosah before I went back into it.
Again, kind of game that turns you to drugs and alcohol in order to relieve yourself, bro. I don't need this much stress in my life. But it's so good. I can't put it down. It's so good. Okay.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm speaking as loud without busting anybody's ears.
What?
Our producer just hit us up. Sorry.
What?
All right. I said.
But easy. Don't be screaming.
I said you're bonito.
Thank you, but you didn't have to blow up my eardrum. Now I'm gonna have to work with my good ear.
I'm glad you said your eardrum.
Mm-hmm. Don't you mouth the words to me like you're not speaking, bro. Use your words.
No, but I can't wait. I can't wait till Sunday. I really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
I mean, and at first I was iffy about the show. I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I started getting into it because
yeah, because it's hard for video adaptation to go live and then be good. And this is good. Like The Walking Dead. It was a comic book, but then it got better in the live action. I mean, I'm right now waiting for Dead City to finish because I gotta have me some Negan, bro. I need my Negan. I need to see this brother.
Negan was the best.
Oh, he's still in.
I love that one.
He's back.
I love that one scene.
So successful, The Walking Dead and The Last of Us is like zombie adaptations or just adaptations. Period. Is that they're both very character driven. Whereas a lot of other like video games are very visually driven, which is all very hard to adapt sometimes. It's like, oh, the visuals, but the story is kind of based and stuff like that. Whereas the story is the main thing. Everything else in the background is just background,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, no, I always go back to this one scene in The Walking Dead when he knocks at the gate, little pig, open up.
Yes.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan was my man.
And then when he brought out the bat, was it Lucille? Woo!
Yes.
Lights
Yes.
out.
Yeah, that was yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I was a fan, bro. I was a fan, and again, that's another show that I wasn't into. I didn't start watching that show till the third season.
Yeah, I would agree. I said I caught the first, missed out on the second and third because I thought it was like a little too much. But then as it progressed, like in the fourth season, because then I caught it at Comic-Con and I actually sat for the panel when they
Yeah,
had the whole cast there. And I was like, ooh.
yeah.
And it was before Negan came on board. After that, I was like, I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. No, because my brothers, they were like, "Yo, watch the show. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Based on the comic book, you're gonna like it." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Nah, that's garbage." Big snowstorm came. I was like, let me watch this. What everybody's talking about,
Yeah, it'll do it to you
and
every time.
Earlier
I was
today,
hooked.
I broke down to him what The Walking Dead stands for, what the actual title is.
Yeah, they're the Walking Dead.
Well, no, so okay, so I love breakdowns and stuff like that. So remember how in the show they all found out that everybody's infected, that there's no way to avoid becoming a zombie. Like once you die, depending on how you die, like unless you like blow your brains out, you're going to become one of them.
Yes.
So the Walking Dead are not the zombies; they are the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They even mentioned it in one of the episodes. They even said it in one of the episodes in the one where when they eat the dogs.
Oh yes. Yeah, I didn't
That
realize
they had to
that.
hide
Man.
in the farm because of the storm. Yeah.
See, I was going
Ooh.
off the comic books. I haven't seen the whole series yet. I was going off the
Ooh.
comics, but
Ooh.
yeah, man, that when that reveal happened, I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Yeah. But again, this is one of those shows that both they hit you in certain ways. Like with The Walking Dead, you can only think and you put yourself in that position of it's the end of the world. You know, you've got the zombies all
Now,
around you. Unless you're in a secure place, which in a couple of seasons, you think a prison was secure, it was not. I mean, and all the places they wind up being, it's not secure from them. So you're constantly in survival mode. So there's never a time to relax or rest. It's just keeping an eye on it,
I
be
love that
vigilant.
scene though.
It makes you think, especially with some
I
of the
love that.
decisions they had to make in order to survive.
Yeah.
Some of the things that it was like a hard call, but I mean, you would sit there and go, "Oh no, you did that." Those are the ones
Yeah.
that mess you up here. Now, The Last of Us, it messes you up in the heart, bro. It messes you up in the heart. It really does. When I saw that scene and seeing Joel just look at her and he told the truth and told her how much he loved her.
Because he never says it in the game. That's one thing I was telling Dad. He never like verbalizes it in the game, even though it's like inherently like known. Like he loves her like a daughter. Like this dude just loved being a dad so much, and like Ellie was his like in his eyes, and I view it as like his redemption after Sarah. So he genuinely loved Ellie and wanted to save her. Like we were talking earlier, we were talking about the debate of whether or not the cure would have actually been a reality and stuff like that.
Exactly, and then that hard choice with a doctor who's not really a doctor, who's not a geneticist. So how are you going to mass produce something in a disgusting hospital that doesn't even have the equipment in which to do this? So how do you mass produce them? So you're going to rip into her brain. You're definitely going to kill her and do what with it? Because now you have the implications of they have the cure. Let's just say, for instance, they have the cure. Who are they going to give it to? Obviously themselves. But what about everybody else? If you don't fall in line, you don't get the cure. There's always that. So I can understand what he did to the doctor, because what he was, I don't care. Daughter of mine, you were ready to mutilate, not help, mutilate a child. And even though she was ready, because she felt her destiny was that if they got it and they give the cure, then she died for a purpose. But you're not looking at the purpose. You're not looking at what it's going to take for that purpose to happen.
And she was looking at the fireflies through the eyes of a child, not through the eyes of an adult. So
exactly.
It's like rose-colored glasses view of like them saving the world when that's not the reality of the situation. We already know that they're manipulative, that they've done things to get their way and stuff like that. Like, I found a post earlier that was like talking about different fan theories that they had in the game, and like I was telling Dad how like in the game, you don't really find out how Ellie was immune. It's like implied that she's immune, obviously. But I have my own personal theory,
Right.
and I think that like it also proves how diabolical the Fireflies are and stuff like that, and how they were willing to use a child for their gains and needs, and they didn't really care about her. They viewed her.
You know how I think. You know what I think
Mhm.
is the reason why she's immune.
Yeah.
Her mother was bitten while she was giving birth.
Well, yeah, no, they did it in the show. Okay, so I'll tell you my fan theory, and then maybe you think I'm like crazy for this. So in the game, to make more sense to me on her being immune, like yes, her mom getting bitten makes sense because obviously she had to be infected, but I don't think she gave birth the way that she did in the show. I think that she turned into whatever, and after she turned, she gave birth. Because it's called a coffin birth. The body like ejects the fetus. And then I think that in the instance of her biting the baby, Marlene walked in and happened to see it, saved Ellie, didn't want to kill the baby because she was like, this is like a newborn. And it was like, well, I'll just wait for the newborn to turn. And then realized the newborn never turned. And that's how she found out Ellie was immune. And then used that to her advantage. Which is, I know it sounds so fucking brutal,
I
but it
want to know
makes
how.
so much sense.
Brother,
You use the F bomb
brother.
again.
I do, I'm not realizing.
She's my spawn. What do you expect? Okay.
I know.
So she gets it. She
I
gets
know.
what I'm not trying to do. She's gonna do it. So, that's what we have kids for. I won't do it. She'll
I
do it.
now with this thing going airborne,
Mm.
how are they gonna handle that?
Well, it's because the spores are airborne, right? It's not necessarily the virus itself. So as long as you're not exposed to the spores the same way where like a fungus, you can avoid getting it. Like there are ways to be like, and I'm sure that there have been more immune people who have lived. Like, there's a fan theory that the goddess that the Seraphites worship was someone who was immune. Because we never really find out who the god is and stuff like that. And I don't think they've said anything about it in the show either to explain it.
Yeah.
So that was also my theory.
No.
See what I mean?
But the girl in the thing, the one that she beats up, that Ellie beat up, she's infected now because they went.
Yeah.
It's airborne.
Well, they were spores. You saw them in the air as they was walking.
But when they were in that area, it was trapped because it didn't really get
That's why they sealed
out.
off the basement. Remember, and when she was in the beginning crying about her son down there, or whatever, because they had to seal off the basement to seal off the spores from escaping and infecting everybody, because that's where the infection lies. That's where like fungal infections come from, the spores that go into the air. Think of it like dandelions, like you blow it and it goes everywhere.
But a good blowtorch, you never know.
That would
the show kind of reminds me of that Mark Wahlberg M. Night Shyamalan movie where nature takes revenge.
Or The Happening. I forget, it's one of those two.
I think it was The Happening.
Yeah, I saw the movie in theaters. I thought that was actually a pretty good, decent thing, and believable, because plants could do something like that.
Yes, it can do that. It can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can do that.
In some ways, they are living creatures, and people don't just look at them as alive. People don't equate other creatures in the same way as us, because they don't compare to us. Then they're not a living, which I kind of find that
they don't view the level of
true.
Consciousness differently. So there was actually a study that came out recently that says that plants cry out in pain when you cut them.
So we don't hear it.
Yes,
but we
hear it. But like they are conscious in a level that we aren't conscious and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And under the ground, the trees are
intertwined. Yes, they are. That's their network.
Intertwined, and that's how they communicate.
That's their network.
That's also how the fungus works, the cordyceps in that world. So. Oh my god, that's so scary.
So, on to something else that I wanted to bring up, or much less throw out as we'll call it sink or swim, right? You saw the last trailer, I bet, of the new Superman, where you're sitting there having this, interview with Lois Lane, which made for a very interesting scene because like when you look at Supermans of past, right? You don't put them on. You don't put them. I mean, Cavill was put on blast on Batman v Superman, but in this one, Corn Sweat is actually portraying the fact that I went into a country, I stopped the war, I saved people's lives. It's like, and Lois is grilling him like she would grill any other person, which made it more authentic because he's like, really? Is that where you want to go? Like, I went there to save lives. I don't. He's like, but I represent me. Me. I don't represent a country.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was it?
I called it.
Go ahead and say it.
I was like, why would they have an immigrant representing America? First of all, he's the original alien, right? He's not American, and that's always been established. Like like he's an alien.
Yes.
No one everyone knows that he's got the Fortress of Solitude. Everyone knows and this is I guess where Clark gets away with having his identity because no one's really expecting Superman to have a secret identity. Everyone knows his face. Everyone knows that he's out there. He's in like the freaking Antarctic, like and stuff like that. That's not even American soil. So why is he representing America? Oh, because he's here saving us most of the time. That doesn't compute.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't because again, but even like in Man of Steel, he was like, "How do you?" When the general asked Kal-El, "So how do you know you'll protect America's interests?" It's like, I was born in Kansas. I was born and raised in Kansas. It don't get any more American than that. But I'm doing it on my terms. They made it clear, my terms, not your terms. And like in Superman and Lois, he says, I have my interest is saving the world, not just the United States. Like when one of the generals had a problem with him saving a Soviet submarine, a Japanese submarine, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, they're our enemy. So they're people. And the ship was going to be destroyed.
Somebody, a viewer commented, alien lives matter.
Alien lives do matter. Yes.
I literally went on a rant about how like it made no sense whatsoever him representing America as a whole. Like it never did, especially in, like the verse of the comic books, and that's why I liked in the trailer they had that scene, and I was like, yes, finally, like because I never understood.
Did you notice?
Notice what?
Did you notice in the trailer he did something that Christopher Reeve did?
With the vocal change and
when he spoke like Superman, the vocal change,
of course,
like Superman, like Christopher Reeve did when he straightened out. No,
he straightened out.
He took that stance with his legs out, with wide stance.
Miss Lane. I'm like, oh, Miss Lane, hello. Yes. He put on the Barry White voice like Miss Lane.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So sink or swim. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be. I'm not expecting it to be $1 billion film. At best, maybe a $700 million film. I expect it to be good. I'm expecting it to be good because it's James Gunn and what he's done with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Although, and I say this as a footnote, that most of the films featured the character of Superman, Lois Lane, and Cal, and that's it. You didn't have Hawkgirl. You didn't have Guy Gardner. You didn't have Mr. Terrific. So to me, you're making an ensemble here. So it's like, okay, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt that these other supporting characters are just that, supporting characters. And, at some point they get together, but most of the focus is going to be on him because the story is about him, not about them. That's something different. So I'm going to again. I'll still say you're putting all your eggs in a basket, but I'm going to say swim. But it's not going to be swim where it's going to be like Aquaman, the first one, 1 billion.
Wearing floaties.
Yeah, you're going to be wearing baby floaties. Wait until you paddle on the second film. You'll be paddling better.
I I really feel the dog is gonna steal.
Well, yeah. Crypto always steals a show. I think whenever he's brought up, but I'm curious to see how they explain Crypto too, because like his existence has always been like everyone's.
Well, in one of the either the comic book or no, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. I think he explained that he genetically created Crypto with powers. He gave him his powers. It was not something that he was born and that was. Wait a second, I don't remember seeing any dogs on Krypton except on Earth. So the only thing I could see to that was when he said that he genetically altered Crypto to have abilities. So just like him.
In the comic books, it was the other way. In the comic books, it was that he needed a companion. After Superman came out, the dog came out.
Oh yeah, no, his creation. There's so many ways they can go with it.
Yeah. But the thing is, you're right, and that dog is the representation of the dog that James Gunn adopted. It looks exactly the same, because when you look at Crypto over the years, it resembled different breeds. Like the last one I saw, it looked more like almost looked more like a pit, and then another one where it was with The Rock doing the voice in the animated film. It didn't look like a rod, but it was like a definite crossbreed. But I can't remember which. I can't place my finger on which breed it was, but it was a bigger dog. Where this one, it's like a little more like a 20-30 pound dog, but with an amazing punch it could pack. It could pack because it hurt him in that last 5-minute one. He just jumped on him like It's like he doesn't play light. You want to play fetch, you want to throw that shit far and run fast before he catches up. So in that essence, so what do you say? Sink or swim?
Backpedaling.
Backpedaling.
Yeah, meaning right above the surface of the water.
So swim.
He's not gonna
swim with them paddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be different.
And you?
No, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna sink, and it's only because I can't trust the DC executives. Like they don't know how to keep their grubby little fingers out of the.
The movie's not gonna sink. It's one of the greatest characters ever made, Superman. So even if you got a lousy script,
people are still gonna turn out. I'm not saying it's meaning a profit.
Yeah,
it's after the fact, like how when we all everybody went to go see Justice League, but then after the fact, we were all talking about how crap it was.
Right.
So like, it made money.
Right.
Did it mean that it was successful? Not necessarily. It just made money because people went to go see it. So people are going to go see this movie. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be successful or not.
But when it packed the punches, when it was Zack Snyder's Justice League, that one packed the punch.
Yes.
It made money. It told the story. And we all enjoyed it. 4 hours, but hey, like anything, you got to put that dedication to it.
Yeah, that to me would have made a lot.
Again, DC executives coming in like villains at the end of the day, shooting themselves in the foot.
Got to send them to the Phantom Zone.
Yes.
Once you send them to the Phantom Zone, that's it, bro. It's a wrap.
On a side note of Superman, sorry to do this, but Yankees on the 20th, they're giving out a bobblehead of Aaron Judge with his shirt open, and it's the Superman symbol.
You gotta be kidding me!
Nope, I already got my ticket.
She's not into baseball, but
not into sports.
Not into sports that way. So Aaron Judge is a well-known baseball player for the Yankees.
Okay.
He's already broken. Whose record did he break already for the most hits?
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. But
for the most home runs, and he broke the record. On that day, the person that set the record was there in the stands to watch Judge break it.
The only Yankee I know is Dicky Matsui.
Yeah,
Dicky Matsui,
because that's Mom's favorite.
No, of course.
And on that note, we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
See you soon.
We'll be right back.
What's up, mi gente? We're back again for some more Rican. And as a next topic of interest to talk about, we want to get into like upcoming films because there's so many coming out that it's like, ooh, it's like you don't know which one you want to love first or love last. It's just so many, so good. I think this is probably the term, the phrase blockbuster, summer blockbuster movies. I would say this is the summer for it because I've never seen so many potentially good films. I'm not gonna say they're good, potentially good films that are coming out within now and the end of August. I mean, too many.
Honestly, I think it started today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What better way to close the chapter than with Mission Impossible?
Yes. Yeah, I think it started,
He's
and Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, that's kind of cute. The live action version, so it's going to be definitely very interesting doing it live.
I'm more excited for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh
Hello.
my god, I can't wait for that.
Can't wait.
See what I mean? It's like one blockbuster after another after another.
Yes. But you were saying during the commercial break, Jurassic World.
Yes, Jurassic World Rebirth. I mean, come on. I mean, this franchise has not seen an end, and it just seems to get better and better. You know, it's like it's one of those that hasn't lost its formula on how
You
to
think so?
entertain.
You think so?
Huh?
You
I think so because the last one I saw when they had like at least the cast of both the first original cast and then the other cast with oh my god, Chris Pratt together, and I'm like, that was awesome. That was nice to see, especially with the Jeff Goldblum. I mean, he never ceases to crack me up.
So
Calm yourself, woman. All right,
But
you're gonna start fogging up the lens here.
But in this one, we don't see none of that. It's a whole new set of characters.
Yes, it's a new
Do
beginning.
you know what timeline this takes place in? Like, is this before the creation of the new version, or is this a pre everybody?
I think this is after everybody. I think it's after.
Really? Now that I think about it, it could be before.
It could be. It could be before.
Because in the trailer, they talk about them like messing around with the genetics of the dinosaur, and the one dinosaur they showed looked like an alien. Didn't even look like it was even close to being close to a dinosaur.
Yeah, they crossbred a velociraptor with a T-Rex.
No, we don't know what it is yet because they.
No, one of them did do that. I think it was Jurassic World.
I'm talking about in the trailer, the one that looked like an alien.
Oh yeah, no, that's
terrifying.
And they got my girl.
That's what happens when men mess with Mother Nature.
And the first book was pretty much a horror. It was horror, you know. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna go more in line with horror in this one because we haven't. Like, they're scary. The movies are generally scary, like in like a soft type of way, because like they're not real. But if they were real, yeah, I'd be terrified. But I would like to see more of the horror in the movies going on and stuff like that.
Michael, I saw an interview where Michael Crichton for the first book, he was eating every day while writing the book for lunch tuna fish sandwich.
Okay.
And then when the second book came out, same thing, tuna fish sandwich.
So the key to a successful film is tuna fish sandwich. Go get the bumblebee.
I know, right? I've been eating tuna fish for the past couple of days.
Oh, Starkiss. Oh my God, Starkiss. Forget about it. You got a franchise there, brother.
Like all tuna fish.
Oh, yes. Yes. She does. She's all in the fish. Didn't come out the way it should.
No.
But I'm just going to say, albacore. I'll use albacore. All in albacore.
All right.
But with the star power, of course, with Scarlett Johansson leading this with Mahershala Ali, I was like, oh, even though it's not Blade yet, but I'm like, it's like great, a good start, and hopefully, again, I'm not gonna say it's a blockbuster, but from the looks of it, it has the makings of it. To me, I'm like, I'm excited to actually watch it. and to see what this iteration and this story is going to bring to the franchise.
Yes.
Because I thought it was done when they brought like both casts together, and I was like, oh yes. And then they like joining forces to stop this creation from happening. I'm like, okay. And then we have this. I'm like, okay, so it's kind of a reboot or a continuation, but time will tell. I mean, the trailer says one thing, but you know as well as I do, they'll always show the best parts to attract the people that come to it. Mm. It's when you actually sit down and then watch it and then gaze and gaze what the story is, and then go either this or oh, love it, I like it, I'm invested, I'm in, love this. Now, another one,
and I said it before.
Say it again, without falling out.
I would, but you keep free. Okay, are you there?
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. That's all. I'm frozen.
Okay. All right. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're back. Okay.
I'm back.
You're back. Yes. I said it, and I said it before. I think in the Jurassic Park is the flip in the air. It's that movie that's going to be between Superman and Fantastic Four, and I think it's going to be the one that is going to do better.
I think so, because with the war of DC and Marvel, I mean, right now it's like, okay, you started off trying to give a hint to what this summer is going to be like with Captain America, New World Order, and then you introduced the Red Hulk. Now, story-wise, it was okay. I would, it was a good story. It wasn't a great story. It was a good story. Had the action. Right. Definitely had the action in that. And I got to give it to Mackie. I mean, he held his own now as a standalone doing, Captain America. So, as far as Tom Holland is concerned, now he has his own movie. You remember they were at a Comic-Con and they were talking about Spider-Man. Well, I haven't seen Spider-Man. And then he looked over to him and go, oh, yeah, and then that Falcon film. Oh, wait, you don't have a Falcon film. And it was like, oh, everybody dropped the mic on that one. He's like, okay, now he did. It's good. Now we'll see what goes from there, because now you got the beginnings of, what do you call it, Doomsday, and then you've got Secret Wars. So, but before that, rewind, you have the Fantastic Four, which is I think the first iteration. No, the Thunderbolts were the door opening by introducing the Fantastic Four. Now the Fantastic Four opens that portal to where we're going to go towards Avengers Doomsday. That's, and again, I'm looking forward to it. Like who, as far as story is concerned, who is going to have it? Visuals, you know what? I can't really say visuals, because both of them are going to have good visuals. I'm not going to even say which one is better. It's who's got the better story. And again, with Fantastic Four now in Marvel's hands, this time around, I mean, fourth time's a charm, bro. You have your papi chulo, Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
He's in it, bro. And he's stretching.
You also have another movie that's coming out with Chris Evans and.
Oh yes.
I forgot what it's called, but I'll look it up right now.
I remember that, and that one happens to look. I mean, Pedro's on a roll, to say the least, as far as one blockbuster hit after another. So he's definitely picking and choosing correctly.
Materialists is what it's called.
Materialists. And he's picking them. He's picking them good. I'm like, I haven't yet come across one where I'm like, no. And I would have thought that one with him and Nicolas Cage would have been like, no, I actually like that one.
Yeah.
With him and Nicolas Cage. And I was like, wow, okay. So, as long as he keeps on a roll, I mean, he's doing well between TV and film. I mean, I don't know how he does it with all that, that's a lot of work, a lot of time invested, especially in these projects that he had. But I get it. You want to be an A-lister, you know, you take them and you pick good projects, good projects. I mean,
and
Last of Us.
and I guess Johnny Depp heard the news because he's in talks to do uh,
Go ahead,
Captain
say it.
Sparrow.
I know
Captain
the
Sparrow.
captain's back.
Yeah,
He deserves it, man.
He does
he
deserve it.
does.
I'm telling
But
you right now, the rat better pull a nice fat check,
because
real fat check.
I
Right,
remember
the one
seeing,
that will make the black compass pop.
yeah, because I remember seeing an interview where Pascal actually was thinking about replacing Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but that's
I
why
don't think it would have
I'm glad he
worked.
didn't do it. I'm glad
No,
he didn't.
Mhm.
If he was a different character, a different pirate, hell yeah.
yes,
But no, I mean, we already know
nobody
it's
can
like
replace.
nobody can replace Johnny Depp on that one.
No,
No, no.
Johnny Depp is one of my favorite actors.
Hell yeah! Look, Edward Scissorhands for one. I mean that one, sheesh. And you're talking about Tonto from the Lone Ranger. Even that one made me laugh out loud. And like at that scene at the end when you hear that dun dun dun, and he goes high on silver. And that scene, you know, he got cut to him. He's like, "Don't you say that!" So I laughed out loud hard when Tonto said that. But that's him. But
Yes.
that's Johnny Depp. He says he picked such weird ass. I mean, Rango. Was it Rango? The animation. Oh.
Oh, my!
Yes.
Mm.
I remember like watching a lot of the older films, but not really perceiving him as Johnny Depp until I watched Sweeney Todd as a musical fanatic, and I was like, "Yo, what? Like, where is this from?" And
Mhm.
but I, as a fan of his, like my favorite movie of his is Blow.
Oh yeah. But
Oh,
that's the thing
yeah.
with Johnny Depp that you have to love is that he doesn't. It's like there are some actors that will fit a role, and sometimes that like for some that are villains, there are actors who fit that role so well you
Yeah.
couldn't see them playing a face. It's like in wrestling, you know some are faces and they'll always be faces, and then there are others that are the heel. Always,
Yeah.
and they become faces, and then they come back to being a heel. But the heel is like, you know, it's like Stone Cold. Stone Cold is either one. Stone Cold Steve Austin is either one, and that is the in between. Same thing with
He's a
actors.
switch.
Yeah, they can switch. You flip the switch, and Johnny Depp is one of those that flips the switch in such a way that from one crazy character after the next, you just don't know. It's like Blow. It's like, wait a second, is that about drug dealing? Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you watch and you go, damn, that was good. Donnie
Yeah.
Brasco, when he was in The Informant, it's like, wow,
I
you didn't see
loved
that
it.
coming either.
I love Donnie
Dark
Brasco.
Shadows. Even him in Dark Shadows was like so. Even him as the Mad Hatter, like that
Yeah.
came out of left field. Like I
Yeah.
remember watching the movie, I was
Mhm.
like, "What is
Mhm.
going on?"
Willy Wonka, hello.
Yeah, that one was completely. I don't know how I still
But
feel about that one.
he's that actor that you would turn to for those kind of particular characters because you know he's made a reputation for himself to play that character. It's like I'm pretty sure like when they're sitting there and they're trying to create a film and create a weird character, like the list is short.
He's a real like.
You know, before they
true
were
bad
in the
actor.
days into the days of like with comedy, you know, you would pick someone weird who could pull it off. You say Jim Carrey. Well, same thing you could say for these particular films. I mean, it could be comedy, it could be action, drama.
You know, he's
He's
on the
one of
same
those.
level that I view Gary Oldman on. Like
Yes,
these are two actors. I don't even know if they've been in a film together. I'm gonna look into that. But like
they have.
those two are great character actors.
Mm-hmm.
One of
Perfect.
my
They're
favorite
perfect.
Johnny Depp is Secret Window by Stephen King. He
Oh,
plays the
that was a
writer.
good one. Yeah, that's a
Hello.
good movie.
Wait, is it? Wait, and correct me if I'm wrong. What about the Ninth Gate?
Yeah, I think so.
That's him too.
He's
Yes.
As a
also
horror.
the voice of the main character in The Corpse Bride.
See what I mean?
Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride.
Oh yeah.
So it's not, you know, he's an actor that you will recognize and know. He's one of those that will never leave your brain because again, we've said 5, 6 different
With him.
characters, 5 or 6 different movies And that's still not touching the surface of what he's really done as of yet.
Could you imagine a live action movie of that bride?
Corpse Bride?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's possible only because of what the
But they have to
story
bring,
is.
Johnny Depp.
I could see it. I could see Johnny Depp reprising his
Mm-hmm.
role and stuff like that. Speaking of reprising roles, like I found out recently that this guy in The Last of Us, that actor, the Moreno,
Mm-hmm.
he also did the voice and the body work for it in the game. So, and he reprised his role again, the same thing as Marlene did.
Okay.
You okay? You
Yeah, no, yeah.
you got that bite? Get a little in there? Okay. Good for you. So here's one thing that caught me by surprise, but I always thought about it from that. Do you ever remember this book called Comic Scene magazine? In the back, always they had a listing of whatever Marvel or DC character in production, and they would tell you like the director and the actor leading it. I
Wait. Is
came
that the
across it.
magazine? Is that the
Mm-hmm.
magazine where it had? Nope, never heard of it. Go ahead.
Okay, so in the back they would list, the characters. One time, this is before the very first Incredible Hulk came out. It was thought of, and then they had a director, but not the one, not Ang Lee in the end, but for the actor to play the part of Bruce Banner, Johnny Depp was the one that was listed.
Really?
And I remember I was like, wow. And it correlated to me because do you remember when after the Onslaught incident where everybody kind of got like it wasn't a Marvel reboot, it was just a different, I call it a different universe that was created from what Xavier's Onslaught end was, and then they had like a lizard like Hulk, and then you had this Iron Man with like, I mean, nicer armor, but different. It's like all the Marvel characters were different, and their storylines had changed before they came Heroes Reborn. That particular Bruce Banner during that time, if you look at the drawing, it looks like a movie that Johnny Depp made, and I loved it. It's one of my favorites. It's very action oriented and thriller all the way. Nick of Time. It was
Oh, I
one
love
of
that
the
movie.
very first films that was done in real time. So when people say, "Oh, 5 minutes from now," 5 movie minutes could be a whole hour. But in that movie, you could turn your watch to it, and 5 minutes exactly what it is in real time.
Yes,
But
I love
the
that
way he
movie.
looked like the comic book version of Bruce Banner.
Oh, okay.
But that would have been interesting to see him pay Bruce Banner than anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, if they ever rebooted it, of course.
If they want to do a different version of him, they could easily bring him in.
Yeah,
and he's a under the Disney family. So
he's already under the Disney family. Why not? Why not?
I think he's too short.
No, but that's
Wolverine. I'm just saying.
You can't mess
he's
with
so short and cute and accurate size Wolverine.
Yeah, you can't mess with Moe's Wolverine.
No. Even when they said Harry Potter was going to be Wolverine, I was like, what?
What? No,
What?
Yeah.
Boom, goodbye.
They still might use him as the ultimate Wolverine.
No.
Like the ultimate.
Do that.
I can see Egerton doing it. Egerton from what's he called? The Kingsman. I can see him doing it before I see him. Before I see Harry Potter do it, because I'm like, I mean, it's just that I know I've seen some of his other works, and he could play a little bit off, but I need to, I haven't seen anything where he's like, he's enraged in some way, or fighting skills matter. I mean, other than the wand, and that's it. Now, Edgerton, I have seen, when he was in Kingsman and he was fighting, I was like, okay, you got the fighting chops, you got the skills. And then he did Robin Hood, and I'm like, he's got that range. And I'm like, yeah, I can see him doing that. And he's, as far as height is concerned, he's height accurate. He's not too short, but he's not too tall either. He's not like 6'1" or 6'2" like Jackman. But I can see him doing it. Yeah, we're supposed to be her height. Like 5'3". 5'3". Hello.
Like 5'2", almost 5'3", yeah.
the accuracy of that, because Wolverine is smaller.
And all I know that because I remember looking up characters that were my height just for cosplay reasons. See? And I was like, "Ooh, I could cosplay Wolverine."
Exactly. There you go. Now, next movie, which is coming out soon, which I definitely, and if I'm not mistaken, is coming out June the 6th. It's a John Wick, from the universe of John Wick, the ballerina. I was watching some of the highlights and the trailers. Yes. I'm like, ooh, this is the first kind of branched out character from that series. And yes, Keanu is in it as well. I mean, although there is the talks, or I think it's happening, that he's working on John Wick 5. So that's a rumor. Don't hold me to it, but if it comes to fruition, great. But if not, you have him in Ballerina. The question is it during the time of Parabellum, which was 3 or 4? Where is that moment is happening? Or is it before he even, left the Assassin's Guild, as I like to call it?
It could be after.
It could be after. Yes. And I'm like,
It could be after. And if he doesn't fight, much, it is definitely after, because that means he's still healing.
Yeah. Well, we've seen him go through God knows how much pain and pain that was inflicted on him, due to the point where he lost 2 fingers, and he's still raising the body count higher and higher and higher. Come on, that last one, the 200 stairs to the church. I mean, how many people were on that? What, 40? Yeah. At least 40. And that's not even the people he killed before he even got to the stairwell. And that's another 30. It's like, yo, the only thing I can see is the funeral parlors are going, yes, you get a bonus. You get a bonus. We get a bonus. They're the only mofos that are happy. All those bodies they got to pick up. Oh, we're gonna you making a nicer casket for you. We're gonna make a nicer casket.
The movie reminds me of the way the Black Widow was trained.
Yeah, from the Red Room. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's another movie that kind of does that too with Jennifer Lawrence. I forgot what the name is called. I think it's Sparrow or the Red Sparrow.
The Red Sparrow, yes.
That was also very similar to Black Widow as well.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was pretty decent. I've never seen John Wick, so I can't comment on the storylines.
Say it again.
I've said this before. I've not seen any of the John Wick. I started watching the movie. The moment his dog died, stopped.
No, don't
see the rest. And that's your penance. That will be your penance. You have to see the rest.
I was mad.
You killed the dog. I mean, come on. Yeah, I felt mad too when he said you killed the dog. Oh,
I've never seen a John Wick
movie. You haven't seen it?
I mean, I respect it. I too.
Look up Yang. Homework, bro. No. That's your penance.
I would be running things with everybody for killing my animals too, so I respect it.
Mm-hmm. Mel gets on me because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets on me because of that.
Yeah, that's your penance. You got to see one, bro. I'm not gonna go revisit this with you and be like, so no me diga, oh, I didn't get to, no, I didn't get to nothing. You saw it.
It's got to.
You're gonna tell me about it. Especially when you watch the first. It will open the door to the rest, and you're gonna see the rest. And I'm telling you, each one is unique unto itself, even though it's another ladder towards, supposedly his freedom. From the freedom he had before he lost his wife, but that dog is you don't kill the dog, bro. You don't kill the dog.
I'd probably be more into watching them than I would be into watching any of the missions.
Now, how did they get the concierge behind the desk? He's still the original guy.
Oh wait, okay. So Netflix came up with a short series that delves in the background of the people who run the Continental. So it's a 4-part series, 4 mini series, and this is the rise of what's his name now? He says Jonathan. Oh my God, the one that runs the Continental. Jeez, I love this actor too.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're
So
talking about.
it's called the Continental. If you look it up, it was already like 6 months ago, and it's still there. When you see these 4 episodes, it ties in to his beginnings of it. You know, Winston. So, and his partner, which I was like, oh, he was so cool. He'd take care of the dog for Mr. Week. But he, it says a lot because that one there at the time before Winston took over.
Oh, Odin.
Hmm?
The guy who plays Odin.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name.
He Mel Gibson was the character. His character was the actual original owner and proprietor of that Continental.
Colin Woodell.
Mm-hmm.
No, the
Colin
guy
what?
that plays.
Colin Woodell. Hmm?
No,
So the
guy.
Continental, if you wanted to find out as far as that's concerned, you watch that mini part series. But from John Wick, when you see the first one,
No,
trust
no.
me,
But what,
oh, too good.
what I'm saying is that in Ballerina they show him,
Yeah, because he's in it.
but he's dead in real life.
Well, that's the question. When does it take place?
That
That's the
yeah.
question. And they never did really show him like die. They just show him like just collapse over and that's it. But they never really made it clear that he's dead. They show the tombstone. They're looking at it, but it doesn't mean he's dead. That's the
No,
thing.
no.
They didn't make it
Mo,
profoundly
Mo,
clear that he is.
Mo. In real life, he died. The actor died in real life.
Keanu Reeves.
No.
No, the concierge.
Oh, that one. Yes, that was in the both in real life and in the film.
Right. They paid respect to his death.
Yeah, they paid
But
respects to him. That person, yes,
so
yes.
how are they showing him still in the movie?
One of two things. Either he already, this project
So
was already being done and he already had done his part as far as filming was concerned way
okay.
before his death. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Or they did an AI creation, which would also make sense if you have all of his dialogue and his voice, you could just program it in and then boom, create a
Oh,
character.
sorry. His name is Ian McShane.
Okay. That would be my thing also.
He's
That
not
would be,
dead in real life.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
No, not
yes,
him.
yes.
No, no,
No, he's not. He's still alive. You just scared the crap out of me.
no, not this
No.
actor. The actor who runs at the front desk.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That
I thought
actor.
you were talking about this dude. I
No,
was freaking out for a second because you said this is the guy who runs it, and I was like, who?
no, he runs the Continental, and there's a 4-part series on how he got his hands on the Continental. But his assistant, the one that that he got to take over the Continental with, and he works with him. That's the one. The actor himself had passed away. I think after they finished producing, making the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see him in the film. His character unfortunately dies, but he himself also, prior to the release of the film, died too, which was like it was sad because he's a good actor. Yeah, that's him.
No way.
That's the one who passed away.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hitting her now.
This is how I'm finding out he died? No, come on.
Ding dong.
No,
Ding
move
dong.
a
The dude
little
is dead.
closer so we can see your reaction.
Yes. Yes, yes. He's pushing
No
up daisies.
way.
No, they see. I know. Go ahead. Ugly cry.
Yep.
Him, yeah. I loved him. I mean, even when he did that series,
I remember him from Fringe.
well, I remember him
Yes.
from this, and he had done I think one season of Resident Evil because he was the one that created the T virus. He was the actual, like in the storyline, he created the T virus.
Maybe they used what they did in Star Wars, where they had the actor stand in and they did the digital whatever on his face.
Maybe.
Probably, but that was the only thing I could think of. Or he already had filmed those scenes
And they
prior to the release, and
On
then he
that
got
note,
his.
ladies and gentlemen, our time is up.
Yes, it is.
We will continue this on the next episode of Nerdoricans.
Until then, as always, Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.
And also with you.
The world seems to be in chaos, and many are struggling to grasp the happening